Okay, now here's a guy who developed a website that's better than Google. Actually, it's better than Google if you're looking for how to get free money on the internet. See, right now, I mean, we've talked about crowdfunding and those other sources of free money on the internet. Well, what this website does is go to all these, and there's really over 1,000 websites that have projects on them that are raising free money on the internet. Okay, so whether it's Kickstarter or GoFundMe, I mean, there's literally over 1,000 of these things. So what he's doing is creating a database of just the projects that are on the websites looking for money. So if you go into Google and put something, you're going to get gazillions of projects or not projects or anything with that name or close or whatever. You're going to get all this kind of crap, and you're never going to live long enough to figure out what you really need. So this is one place. It's sort of like our website, you know, for government programs. If you put in grants, you know, on Google, you'll get 50 million websites. Us, we only have 17,000 of the real web pages that give out free money, not all this other stuff, people selling you something and things like that. So that's what he's doing for getting money on the internet, crowdfunding and other free money sources. But what's more important about this is a place you could go if you're thinking about getting free money on the internet or your crowdfunding. You can go here and see similar projects. Like, I want to know everybody who's getting money for a book. You know, how much they got, how they did it, what it looked like, who are the winners, who are the losers, and not just from one crowdfunding site, but from all the crowdfunding sites. And so you see the competition. You see what winners like are out there. I mean, you know, you don't want to do stuff that's dumb, and you need information to be able to make intelligent decisions about what you're going to do. So this is a way to make intelligent decisions about your project to raise money. You're an inventor. You have an inventor for a new widget or something like that. So you look at all the widgets, you know, that are out there that already got money or didn't get money, and try to look and say, hey, what was good, what was bad, so you could, you know, more or less steal from these other people who are out there in the seas with all the sharks in them already, to see how to avoid the sharks, you know, and survive in this game. So that's what's neat about this, and it's something after my own heart, because I'm an old database guy. I mean, back in the 70s, I have an MBA in designing management information databases, and when computers back then were as big as this room, not as big as this phone. Yeah. That's how old I am. But it's still, I mean, it's how you collect the information. That's why the internet is good with quantity. So it handles large amounts of information, but it doesn't handle quality. You can't tell a good thing from a bad thing. So this is another way. This is a website that's, you know, making the quality. Everything there is just people who got money. Free money on the internet for their project. So that's all you're going to search. See, now that's quality information. So watch this video and this interview that I did, and you'll be using this more and more as crowdfunding, because more and more popular, because it's really going to be very important in our world. Well, Peter Einstein with CF for all, and it's the number 4. You guys are creating like the world's best source of information for anybody who wants to know about free money on the internet, right? It's just incredible, and that's really, CF stands for crowdfunding. So it seems like you guys are really becoming the established go-to source for what's going on in crowdfunding, how to find projects, what are the best projects, and compare projects, who's doing what, and God, I mean, this must take, you know, more than just one Einstein.
Yeah, we have a whole team of Einstein. Yeah, we've got some really, really smart people working for us. We've got our chief executive officer, you know, it's got dual degrees in mathematics and computer programming. We've got and he's not even, and I mean, he could be our CTO, but CTO with his own skill set, and we've got a great chief marketing officer, and everybody works really, really well together. And the brain power when we assemble, especially when we add our, we have an advisor, Jay Abraham, who's considered one of the great business minds on the
yes.
planet by some people. So it's a pretty impressive group of thinkers.
But you seem to be on the ground floor of something that's really going to explode. I mean, right now, if you go onto Google and put in crowdfunding, which you guys are in charge of, Google has like 7 million websites already. So what's a person do when they think about, oh God, should I put a project on? How should I put a project on? Or where should I put money to be a funder and all that? Instead of screwing around with the 7 millions, you just come to your site, right?
Yeah, exactly. From your mouth to God's ears. Yeah, it is confusing, and we saw the opportunity a while back that when you search for Google, as in a lot of areas, the same thing goes with the airline. Airline. You're not going to look at Google and try to figure out how to book a flight. You're going to go if you don't have a specific airline to work with, and you go to somebody like Kayak, which is a search engine, but it specializes in one particular area. And
so they go to all the airlines and gather it for you, and then you say, hey, this is the best flight to take or whatever, and you don't have to go to the airline. So that's what you're doing for and there's really thousands or more of crowdfunding sites now. You're doing that for them, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the early stages now, but we still, even at this point, we have about 20,000 active projects, which is still pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's going to grow exponentially as we're adding what they call white label providers, which are the people who provide the software for other people to make crowdfunding platforms.
Right.
And there are also people who allow people to do it yourself, to turn their own websites into crowdfunding sites. So we're working with those people as well. So that's going to grow the size of our network, if you will.
So if I wanted to start like, oh, I had this idea and I want to see if I could go crowdfunding, how could your site help me, think through that idea? Or what can I get from your site?
Well, the first thing you want to do, if you're even contemplating going into crowdfunding as as an activity, you've got a project that's been you've been mulling over and thinking, gee, one day I want to do this.
Yeah.
This is, if I could only get the funding to do something like this, my life would be complete. So the first thing you need to do is research it. Look for those keywords, those categories, those subcategories that are similar to what you're going to go into.
You mean that on your site, you have like 20, 30 categories. Site, yeah, right.
Search,
I mean, you go, whether it's art or fashion or whatever the heck.
Who else has done this before that you can learn from?
Yeah.
Were they successful? Did they fail? And we also allow people to find projects that have failed that you might not be able to find normally.
I see.
Gee, that looked like a good idea, and let me check them out.
What happened?
Where did they go wrong so I don't do the same thing?
So you can learn from other people's mistakes on your site that you can't on the other crowdfunding sites because they get rid of their programs once they say.
Well, they're not all that proud of the fact.
Well, I mean, but it's like going to the library to learn something, and we learn from history, and so that's what you're trying to do. But also you can see, the current people that are, actively crowdfunding on something, what they're doing, that seems to be their success, and you just copy it. I mean, it's the best way to learn to me. See what the winners are doing.
You don't necessarily copy it, but you see, okay, I'm going to be doing, you don't want to come out with something that's a Me Too product.
Right.
But what you want to do is you want to say, okay, here's a niche. Here's something that people haven't done before.
Right.
Now that I know what they did do, now it's, if I twist that around, then I have a new thing. I'm filling a need. Somebody may have gotten 90% there, but that last 10% was the difference between success and failure.
And that's where it comes in, knowing the market. So you're able to put the market there in front of people to understand the existing market, what's out there for people to support in crowdfunding, and how to be different than them, so that you attract your audience.
And then of course, we have another area that allows people to engage the crowd. They get their friends and family behind them, whether or not they've got a rich uncle that's going to give them $5,000, to start their campaign off. We have a thing called crowd credits.
Crowd credits? So that's like money I'm getting when I go to your site?
Not quite, but it's almost as good. Every time somebody uses our search engine, they earn crowd credits.
Ah.
And every time you do a search, every time you click through to one of the projects and learn more, while you're on those projects on the sites, and you spend time there and you watch a video, whatever, those things earn you crowd credits. And when you engage in a question with the project creator and you learn more. So then you have these crowd credits, or your friends have these crowd credits, and they can then donate them to your project. Even before, in some cases, we'll be doing this in the future, even before it launches. And this is important because people will give money to projects that they think other people also
So in other words, with these crowd credits, I could endorse a product and push it up on your website search kind of thing. It comes more to the top.
Actually, the crowd credit score increases the ranking when someone searches for your project. Your ranking will be higher. And they call it SEO, search engine optimization.
Right.
And so it's a way for people to compete against other projects that may be very similar, or compete if you're on a small platform that nobody knows about, but you're there because you think that they specialize in an area, but they're not as big as Kickstarter.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You can compete. In fact, not only on a level playing field, we actually tip the playing field in your advantage.
Wow. So cf4all.com, and that's the number 4, and CF is crowdfunding. It's a place really to go when you're really just trying to learn about crowdfunding, because you see what it's all about in one place, because you got everybody contributing their projects to one place, and then to decide help you decide if you want to do a project someday, to see what people are doing, or to encourage other people with your credits. Man, you're playing God here. These crowd to help promote sites.
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily. Come
on, you're a copywriter.
My lawyers are going to have to look that one over.
Well, Peter, this is wonderful, and I think the industry, I've been following it for a year or so now, and it's in certainly need. There's so many flying saucers going around the internet with this stuff, and you are now the one place that has all the data that we can all keep track of and learn from everybody else, instead of spending 15 hours searching different websites. It's all on CF4, the number 4, all.com, right? Thank you, Peter. Okay, well actually that's a database I wish I did. I mean, I love organizing big amounts of data that other people can't do and don't have the time or the inclination to do, and I spent a career doing that. So my hat's off to these people trying to organize all this data for the rest of us.